Vera, you've got this all wrong.
Not anymore. There had to be some reason for you being so nice. There always is, isn't there?
That's not true.
What do, George? Come back here after you've seen me and laugh about it? Well, I'm not going to be used.
Just you listen to me for a second.
I've listened to you too much.
Why don't you grow up? You're not a child.
Well, that line's been used before. But don't worry. I won't tell anyone. I wouldn't want anyone to know that I was so easily fooled.
God's sake, leave the stupid bitch alone.
Shut up.
I should have known. Old Vera was always one to bend the rules, never break them. Ah, don't worry. I'll find somebody else.
You're in trouble.
Anne's been arrested for dealing. There's nothing I can do for her, but I do owe her something. I know what's going to be like for her inside the next screw. So I'd appreciate it if you'd keep an eye on her.
Well then.
Oh, you gave me a fright.
Don't you look a picture? Getting ready to wow the blokes on the outside, eh?
You know, I thought this last week would never end. I'm really looking forward to a few hours away from this place.
Yeah, well, you've had a lot of chances, young lady. You managed to screw most of them up. If you make a mess of this one, you're going to have me to deal with.
Oh, don't worry. I won't go running off like that again.
Yeah, well, a lot of women give their eye teeth to be in your shoes. And they're going to be able to swing it, too, if you don't muck it up for them.
You mean Doreen and Lizzie?
Oh, no. They haven't got a snowball's chance in hell. But doesn't hurt them to kid themselves about it for a while, does it? Relieves the boredom. But no, there are some women who do stand a chance. I'm not having the likes of you bugger it up for them. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, kid. See you later.
Bye. Bye-bye. See you this evening.
See you later. Good luck. Lucky cow. Wish it was me going out to work.
Never mind, Dora. You and me'll be out soon. Don't you worry.
Oh, come off it, Lizzie. They'll never let me out on work release. You'll be all right, but I'm still waiting to find out what they're going to throw at me for going off with Frankie.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Wish I could. It's bad enough being in here as it is. Without that hanging over me head.
What do you reckon you'll get?
Dunno. Suppose I was lucky I got spotted before we knocked over that shop. Otherwise, I'd be up for armed robbery as well. Funny. I've never thought about it before. That rotten cop did me a favour.
Yeah. But he didn't do Frankie no favour. Poor old Frankie.
Yeah. Poor old Frankie. The rotten bastards wouldn't let any of us go to a funeral.
I suppose they thought we'd nick off. God, that would have been a lark. Aren't they supposed to forgive you your trespasses? I mean, in the Lord's Prayer it says, forgive us our trespasses.
What are you raving on about?
I was wondering what you'd get for robbing a convent.
Oh, with my luck, they'll probably throw the book at me.
The Bible. Remember when we were in the doc's room? Well, he said if we could get some special forms from Mrs. Davidson.
Yeah, but that's done it. I mean, old Davidson won't sign anything for us.
Now, hold on a minute, I got an idea. If we can get into Mrs. Davidson's office and swipe some of them forms, you could forge her signature.
Oh, I don't know. Sounds a bit risky.
Oh, come on, Dor. Give it a go. I can get us in there. I've picked a few locks in me time.
I'm in enough strife as it is, Lizzie.
All right. If you're scared, I'll do it myself.
Oh, OK, I'll help you. But I'm not pinching a form for myself. I'm just helping you out, okay?
Oh, good on you, Dor. You're a pal, a real beaut pal. But don't worry, it'll work.
Oh, yeah, but how are you going to get us in there? And it's going to take more than a few minutes to forge her signature.
Well, I got a plan, but I gotta have Bee's help. You leave it to me. I'll make it work.
You're arriving to be checked in, a friend of yours.
Hello, Vera. I missed you at Lawson.
That's enough of that, Yates. Stand over there.
Good old Vera, the professional screw. You weren't so high and mighty at the party the other night.
Your name?
Oh, come on.
Yates, you know the procedure as well as I do. You're a prisoner now and you will be treated like one. Your name?
Have it your own way. Anne Rosemary Yates.
You were found guilty of possessing and trafficking in prohibited drugs. Is that correct?
Yes, Miss Bennett.
You were sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. Is that correct?
Yes, Miss Bennett.
Put your bag on the desk and go over and strip off in that cubicle.
Yes, Miss Bennett. Oh, by the way, how's George?
Get moving, Yates. Can be rather difficult with her in here.
There's no need to gloat. It's going to be difficult for all of us.
I wasn't gloating. I didn't mean for you especially.
I didn't know she was tied up in anything illegal. As soon as I found out, I stopped seeing her. And her friends.
Sorry.
I don't have to justify myself to you or anyone else.
I wasn't asking you to.
Well, just mind your own business then.
I'll go and check the cell allocation with the governor.
If we move Catherine Roberts in with Jordan and Brownlee on the 3rd floor, then we can put Yates in the single cell on the 2nd.
Right. It seems unusual that Yates was sent here where she used to work. Why wasn't she sent to another prison?
I don't think it would make any difference. There's bound to be someone there who was here when Yates was an officer. I don't envy her position. The women will make her life unbearable.
Yes, especially if B. Smith finds out she was in for dealing in drugs. She hasn't forgotten about Sally.
Which brings me to my second point. We mustn't let details of Yates' sentence leak out to the other prisoners. I don't want another incident like the attack on Barbara. I've a good idea who told B she was in for a drug offence. I shall be mentioning it to Vera specifically.
Yes, but she wouldn't tell B about Yates. And Yates herself would have sense enough to keep quiet.
One would hope so. One would certainly hope so.
You needn't have bothered. I could have found my own way here.
It's normal procedure to take a new prisoner to her cell.
Good old Vera. God, but you're dedicated, aren't you? Your whole world revolves round this dump. You'd be lost if you couldn't work here. It'd be rather nasty if the governor found out you'd been hanging around with criminals and ex-prison officers.
You'd better not be the one to tell her.
Why not? What have I got to lose? I've got you to thank for being here.
Anne, I didn't know.
If you're so stupid you can't see what'd be obvious to anybody else.
If I'd realised, I'd never have got involved with you and George.
No, you probably wouldn't either. We give you a chance to get something out of your life and you pass it up.
Look, you run your life how you like, but don't expect me to follow you. And I didn't have anything to do with your arrest. The police don't always work through informers.
Yeah, I suppose so. Anyway, you wouldn't want your precious George to get into trouble, would you? I suppose he's given you special instructions about taking me under your wing. He always looks after his friends.
It's my job to protect all prisoners.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus and
Ruth, are you in training for the Olympics or something? Here comes another one. Here, you want to watch it, you know, with your ticker.
We've got something to tell you, Bee.
No, and I thought you'd been watching them Life Being It adverts.
Bee! Officer Yates!
Tim, I got her back again.
Yeah, but she's on the inside this time, Bee. She's in Kate's cell.
Well, now, is that so? Then I better do the right thing, hadn't I, and go and welcome her back. She may not remember me after all this time.
Why is Bee so interested in Yates?
Well, she used to bring things for the girls, and they used to reckon that she brought drugs in. She was here when Sally died. You remember Sally, don't you?
Yeah, my first day.
Well, B hates pushers. And God help Yates if B finds out for sure that she was the one that brought them in.
Well, well, well. If it isn't our tame screw.
Good morning, Bee.
Long time no see. A lot of things changed since you were last here. A lot of people come and gone.
Yeah, I suppose they have been.
Marilyn's out now. She's going straight. Married, Eddie. Oh, and Frankie got herself done in, so I expect you heard that.
Yeah, I read it in the papers.
We even had the governor's niece here for a while. Had a few problems with her. Funny kid. Got caught smuggling drugs in here. Ended up going bananas and locking herself in a cell. Can't think why. What are you in for?
Receiving.
Receiving, eh? Oh, what'd you get for that?
6 months.
Well, we'll have plenty of time to catch up on the gossip then, won't we? Oh, I better get back to work. Busy, busy, busy. Never get a spare moment to yourself in here. Oh, by the way, one thing that hasn't changed in here. I'm still in charge.
Good morning, Mrs. Grant.
Oh, hello, dear. You're back, are you? Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened. It was all my fault. I should have told you that I was popping out for a minute.
No, you weren't to blame. It was my stupid fault for running away like that.
Oh, I would have done the same. He can be a cranky old bugger. I sometimes wonder why I bother working here. Still, I'm glad it all turned out for the best. How come you didn't come back last week?
Didn't he tell you?
Him wouldn't pass time of day with the Queen, never said a word. I think he should have had the decency to take you back straight away.
Oh, he would have. It's just I wasn't feeling too well.
Got that wog that's going round, eh? Oh, nasty, that is. My Vince came down with it 2 weeks ago. Off work for 3 days, he was. Mind you, I reckon he'd have done better going to work. Would have sweated it out. Works in a foundry, see?
What's this? A stop work meeting? Look, I don't pay you both good money to stand around gossiping all day. Mrs. Grant, if you gave as much attention to those elkhorns out the back as you do to that face of yours, we might even make a profit out of them. And you, young lady, can open up that new consignment of seed packets over there in the shed, then put them out on a display stand.
Oh, Mr. Butterfield, thanks for giving me a second chance.
That's all right. Well, look, we'll just pretend it never happened, eh? Now, look, you get your rear end into gear and sort those packets out.
Hey, B, can I have a word with you in private?
Oh, geez, Lizzie's got a secret.
Listen, I got a plan. I want to get out on work with this.
Oh, look, you're not still on about that, are you? You're wasting your time.
No, all I gotta do is get into Mrs. Davidson's office and pinch some forms, and then Doreen's gonna forge a signature.
You're both nuts.
Oh, come on, B, I know it'll work, but I have to have your help to get into the office.
Don't get me involved in your harebrained schemes.
Oh, come on, B, I know it'll work, and Doreen's gonna help me.
No.
Oh, you find out who your true friends are, don't you?
Oh, hang on. All right, look, I'll give you a hand. But if you do something for me...
Oh, B, you're a pal, a real beaut pal. What do you want me to do?
Well, it'll only take you about 10 seconds. I want you to have a look at one of the files.
Planning another little escapade, Birdsworth.
Oh, no,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
I was just...
I know. Innocence personified. Just the same, I think I'll separate you and Smith for a while. Report to cleaning duties immediately.
Oh, but Miss...
Do as Miss Bennett tells you and stop hanging around me.
Oh, that's not fair, Miss Bennett. I mean, Lizzie's getting on, you know. She's too old to be scrubbing floors, and she's got a bad heart.
Because you're so concerned, Anderson, you can help her.
Oh, fair go.
You heard me. Get moving. Get mops and buckets and start on the second floor.
Bloody Vera. Always throwing her weight around.
Why'd you try to shut me up, B?
Oh, you two are so dumb. She's done you a favour if only you knew it. Well, she's given you a reason for wandering around the corridors. And I'm sure the corridor outside the governor's office is filled.
Oh, there you are, Dora. I told ya. I told you to work, you know.
Oh, God. My stomach feels as if my throat's been cut.
You honestly going to help Doreen and Lizzie get into the governor's office?
Yeah, why not?
Because it's a stupid idea. Can you honestly see them accepting a signed form from Lizzie without checking with the governor first?
Of course not. I'm not as bloody silly as they are.
And why help them get into trouble?
Ah, because they're that dumb they'll do it on their own anyway. They may as well cut the odds than getting caught in the act. Anyway, what are you worried about? You're frightened to spoil your chance of getting out.
No, it's not that. It's all very up in the air. It might never even happen.
It'll happen a damn sight sooner than they let me loose in the streets. I'd give them the left arm to be shot at this dump for a couple of hours.
It's very strange, isn't it, that they should send Yates here to do a time?
Nah. Only a matter of time before they quit up with that one. She's as bent as a left-handed corkscrew.
But you don't do anything rash.
Oh, don't worry, love. If I do anything, it'll be between me and Yates. I need to involve you.
But you don't know for sure that she was the one who gave Sally the drugs.
No. But I'll find out. And that's another reason for helping Doreen and Lizzie. Ah. You coming?
And Daryl's our eldest. He'll be 20 next week. Mad about motorbikes. He is apprentice mechanic. He's real clever with his hands. I mean, he's bright but not brainy. Not like Jeffrey. Funny, them two used to be real good mates till Jeffrey went to uni.
Who's that?
Why don't you know him? Jeffrey Butterfield, Sid's son. I thought you were a friend of the family.
Oh, no, Dad was in the army with Mr. Butterfield. I didn't ever get to meet any of his family. I didn't even know he had one.
Oh, yes, but he spoiled Jeffrey rotten. Always was a right little pansy, if you ask me. Still, like I said, him and Daryl used to get on real well. Used to annoy old Sid. I think he thought his precious Jeffrey was mixing with the lower elements, if you know what I mean.
Well, where is he now?
Oh, he's studying at uni somewhere. Botany, agriculture, something like that. Comes here to work during the holidays. Mind you, he never has much to do with my Daryl now, but not that Daryl would have time for him now he's got his bike. You should see our kitchen table sometimes, covered with bits of engines and grease. It's like bedlam at our place during the weekends, what with him revving his bike and Cheryl playing her records as loud as she can. Still, listen to me carrying on. I bet your dad moans about you too, doesn't he?
Oh, he used to, but I don't live at home anymore. He says he can't get used to the quiet. We live in the country.
What, on a farm?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Vince is always going on about moving to the country. Wants to get away from the smoke, he says. Can't blame him. That foundry's a filthy place to work. What made you come to Melbourne?
Oh, there didn't seem to be much to do on the farm, and except work. I'd been there all my life. I just wanted to see a bit of the world, I guess.
So you came to try your luck in the big city.
Mm.
Must be lonely for you. Whereabouts you living?
Vermont.
Ah, staying with relatives, are you?
Friends.
Well, you must come round one evening and meet the family. Daryl could introduce you to some people your own age.
Well, I'd love to. Well, I'd better get back to work because I don't want to make a bad impression on my first day.
Oh, don't worry. Plenty of time. You don't want to be too eager. Old Sid will only take advantage of you.
Oh, no. I'd better get back. Mr. Butterfield?
Huh?
I've finished my lunch. Is there anything else you'd like me to do now?
Oh, well, you can get started on those philodendrons if you like.
Oh, right. Mr. Butterfield?
Yeah?
Are you satisfied with my work so far?
It's a bit early to tell you, but if I'm not, I'll let you know.
Thanks.
And you get on with your job, right? And don't keep jawing to that Grant woman. Got a mouth as big as Port Phillip Bay, she has.
Thank you. Oh. Mind if I join you, Miss Yates? Hope you haven't forgotten the little talk we had this morning.
I've got a good memory.
Good. Good. Because I'm going to be needing your help. You're going to be wanting to help me, aren't you? After all, us fellow prisoners got to stick together, right?
Look, Bea, I know the ropes. I'm not looking for trouble. I'd be a bloody fool across you. You don't have to heavy me into anything. Didn't I do you all favours when I worked here?
Yeah, for a price. Not be doing any more favours, would you? Stuck in here with the rest of us.
Well, I've got friends. Perhaps something could be organised.
Oh, no. Don't tell me there's another Ben Screw working in here. Well, she better not be bringing drugs in. Because we wouldn't want anyone else to go the same way Sally did, would we?
Look, Bea, I never brought in drugs. Just the pill for Marilyn. That was the closest I ever got to drugs.
Well, then you've got nothing to worry about, have you? Got a clear conscience. Which is lucky for you. Because when I find out who did bring them drugs in, it's going to be the worse for them. But still, that's not going to worry you, is it? After all, like you said, you had nothing to do with drugs, which is good. So I'd hate it if you and me didn't get along. Right off me, Screw! What the hell's going on here? Nothing. She's gone mad. I mean, she has a little accident and jumped up and attacked me, didn't she, girls?
Yeah, I have. Yates, go and get cleaned up and come back and have another meal. I ought to put you in solitary.
Her ought to be in the pound.
Don't play games with me, Smith. We both know that you pushed her into it. You give me half a chance, and I'll have you in solitary so fast you won't know what hit you.
Bloody screws. Typical the way they stick together, even if one of them is on the inside.
What's going on?
Oh, B. Smith throwing a weight around.
Yates?
Yes.
God, she doesn't waste any time, does she?
What did you expect? Look, we've had trouble between prisoners before. We know how to handle it. That's what we're paid for.
I know. All I
Yates
meant
will
was...
be treated the same as any other prisoner. The fact that she was an officer here makes no difference. You go and take a look at things. I thought you would have known better than to cross B. Smith.
You know bloody well she's out to get me. And a fat lot of good you were. I could have been killed.
Oh, come on.
Yes, well, you better be more careful in future.
Are you threatening me?
You? Hardly. Didn't George ask you to make extra sure I was looked after?
Yates, you're just another prisoner to me now, and I won't stretch any rules just as a favour to a friend.
Favour? God, you are a hard bitch.
How dare you speak to me like that? Whatever there is between George and I has nothing to do with you.
Oh, then he hasn't told you. About my little insurance policy?
What are you talking about?
I worked for George for quite a time. Got to know his business very well. In our line, you need a bit of protection. So I left a letter with my solicitor, giving away a few trade secrets. If anything happens to me, that letter will be sent straight to the police. And that, darling Vera, means that you'll be saying goodbye to dear old George for about 10 years.
Come in.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, I understand there was some trouble in the dining room.
Nothing I couldn't handle.
Did it involve Yates?
Yes. There's bound to be some feelings against her. Most of the women remember when she worked here as an officer. As I said, I've taken care of it.
How?
I've arranged for her to take all her meals in her own cell from now on.
Well, I don't think that's such a good idea. If the women see us giving her special treatment, it will only make matters worse.
What are we supposed to do? We could move her to another wing.
I don't think that would help. Even if we sent her to another prison, there'd still be someone who'd remember her. Perhaps you're right. We'll just have to keep her away from the others as much as possible and just hope they don't put two and two together and realise she's the one who was responsible for Sally Lee hanging herself.
We never proved it was Yates who was supplying Sally with drugs.
Of course we didn't. If we had, she would have been back in here a lot sooner than this. But you know what the women are like. Just the suspicion is enough. Here are the orders for tomorrow. Rice is due to appear in court.
I'll tell her when she's finished with the psychiatrist.
And tell me, Susan, why do you think you steal things from shops?
To get attention
Attention.
from my husband.
But when you were arrested, you refused to give your name.
Of course. I mean, what do you think would have happened if I had? I'd have got a $20 fine, a telling off from the magistrates, and everything would have been forgotten. This way, people have to take notice.
And you broke bail for the same reason?
Yes.
Seems reasonable. Tell me, Susan, have you ever thought of seeking help from someone like me?
What for? You're not telling me anything. I'm telling you.
Quite. Well, thanks for talking with us, Susan. It's been very nice.
Is that all?
Yes. Unless there's something else you want to say.
No.
Fine.
What do you think?
Well, she's obviously disturbed to some extent.
Then you recommend treatment?
Yes, of course, but I can't insist on it. That'll be up to the judge. He'll probably let off with a fine. And after that, she's out of my jurisdiction.
But you'll recommend that the judge directs her to have treatment?
Oh, no, I don't think so. What she really needs is a visit to a marriage counsellor with her husband.
Dr. Wiseman, you've only seen her the once in one of her calmer moods. She can become quite violent at times.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I have read the report.
Or don't you think that she may be trying to hoodwink you?
Hoodwink. I haven't heard that word for years.
I don't think you're taking this very seriously.
No? And what can I do? If we forced everybody we suspected of having some sort of mental disorder to undergo therapy, we'd be in a hell of a mess. You, for example, show definite signs of paranoia. But I'm sure you wouldn't like to be forced to take treatment.
Oh, hi. Been to see the shrink?
Yes.
What did you say?
Nothing.
They never do. Bloody useless if you ask me. Still has a chance to see a bloke occasionally. Here, you want a game?
I'd love one, thank you.
500, okay? Terrific. All right, Doreen and Lizzie, get your bodies over here. We're playing cards. You and Doreen are playing Susan and me.
I'll be.
Do you want me to help you tomorrow or not?
Yeah,
Yeah, right, well. Yeah, and give me that. Have a read of this. More your level.
Right? You're due in court tomorrow. Make sure you're at reception by 9.
Yes, miss.
Oh, looks like it'll be your last night with us then, Suze. Back to your old man tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's all right for some. Pity the rest of us have to miss out, isn't it, Miss Bennett?
You'll be taking all your meals and yourself from now on. We don't want a repetition of what happened earlier.
Oh, there won't be any trouble, Miss Bennett. Yatesy and me understand each other perfectly. Don't we, Yatesy?
Yes, perfectly.
Put it over there. It's your breakfast.
Oh, you shouldn't have bothered.
If it were up to me, I wouldn't have. Outside, Marjorie. I'd have thought anybody who'd worked here would have had more sense than to risk being put inside.
Well, I didn't know I was going to get caught, did I?
Now, you've made it twice as hard for the rest of us. And the governor's assigned you to the garden. Just try and keep your mouth shut and out of B. Smith's way.
I'm not worried about B. Smith. After all, I've got you to protect me, haven't I?
I'll pick you up later at the nursery, Lynn.
I'll be there.
You'd better be.
You're early?
I want to catch Susan before she goes to court.
Oh, looks like you're just in time.
Susan, could I have a word with you, please?
I have to deliver her to the police. They're waiting outside.
This won't take long, Vera. Susan, it's about your interview with Dr. Wiseman yesterday. He thinks you need psychiatric help.
Do I have to?
Well, we can't force you, of course.
Then I won't.
Susan, the judge may be more lenient if he thinks you're trying to get help.
But what about my children? What do you think my husband's solicitors will make of it? They'll say I'm too crazy to look after my own kids.
There's nothing wrong with getting psychiatric.
No. I won't do anything to jeopardize my chances of keeping my children. I'm ready.
Good.
want?
Here you're working in the garden.
So?
Well, you were telling us how helpful you were when you were a screw. I thought you might like to help us again.
Doing what?
I was keeping an eye on the gate, telling us when the governor goes out, when she comes back.
What do you want to know for?
I don't trust you enough to tell you that. Not yet, anyhow. We'll see. If this works out the way I expect it to, things might be different afterwards.
Mrs. Davidson? Mrs. Davidson? Can I make an appointment to see you?
Surely you know the rules, Yates. All requests have to be lodged with the duty officer before 9 o'clock.
This is important.
Very well, what is it?
I just want an appointment.
What about?
Being served my meals in my cell. The other prisoners already resent me, and I don't want them to think I'm getting special treatment.
It's for your own protection.
Yes, I realise that, but I think they'd accept me more easily if I eat with them.
Oh, you could be right. I'll be back at 11:30. Come and see me then.
Thank you. She'll be gone for 2 hours.
Oh, it gets a bit boring after a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, monotonous, I'd call it.
Oh, you needn't worry. You're going to be out of here inside a year.
Yeah, another year of this. 100 sheets a day for a year. It's a lot of laundry.
I wouldn't know. Never was any good at sums. Here, what are you going to do when you get out? You going back to teaching?
No, they wouldn't have me. Fair enough, I suppose. I miss teaching the little ones, though.
You could always raise your own.
I have to find a husband first. Anyway, I'm not sure I'd want to do that. It won't be easy after being in here.
The governor's just left. She'll be gone for 2 hours.
Right.
Oh, not there, Lizzie. I've just done that bit.
Oh, what's the difference? It'll be filthy again in a minute anyway.
Okay, you two, you've got 2 hours. Be careful.
You just wait here and watch, eh? Okay. Shh.
Who told you to clean here?
Mrs. Jackson. Oh, Miss Bennett told Mrs. Jackson to tell us.
Well, don't take all day about it. Wouldn't hurt you to clean yourself afterwards, Lizzie.
Come on, get the door open.
Oh, God.
Come on. Wait a minute. What are you doing? Open up. Come on. Right. Well, where are these forms? Probably in here. Oh, yeah. Ah, it's locked. Well, unlock it then. That won't work. It's too big. Oh, I know. Hope this works. Come on. Oh, now where are these work release forms? You, Vic, here they are. Now, you keep an ear to the door and tell me if anyone's coming. all day. Shut up, I'm trying to concentrate. There, finished. Shh, somebody's coming.
She's not back yet.
Oh, well, when you see her, will you tell her that Susan Rice got off on a $200 fine and 6-month good behaviour bond? She won't be coming back.
Right.
Oh, they're gone. Well, let's get out of here. I'll put Mrs. Davidson's signature on this later.
Just a minute. I promised Bea I'd find her a file.
Oh, well, why didn't you do it before?
Because you asked me to keep my ear against that door.
Oh, well, hurry up or we'll get caught.
Oh, go, Doreen. You're scared of your own shadow.
Oh, come on.
Well, wait a minute.
Come on.
Oh, this is it.
Oh, come on. There won't be any work release for you if we get caught in here. Yeah, come on, for God's sake.
Slow down a bit. He won't thank you for working your fingers to the bone.
I just want to get this finished before tonight, that's all.
Okay, please yourself. I'm going to take a breather anyhow. Boy, what I wouldn't do now for a cup of tea.
Yeah, this kind of work does make you thirsty.
Well, why don't you come home to my place when we knock off? Have a cup of tea before you catch your bus. I only live over there.
Oh, look, that's really kind of you, but I can't. Not tonight. I've got to be home early.
Got a date, have you? Listen, why not come tomorrow night? You could meet my son, the one I was telling you about.
Well, I can't make it tomorrow night either.
Well, when can you make it?
Like, I can't, not at the moment.
I see.
Oh, look, it's nothing personal.
What is it then? You're invited to a person's home and you turn them down. I'd call that bloody personal.
Come in. Well, hello, Lizzie. What can I do for you?
I've come to see about the work release program. I'd like to join.
Well, have a seat, Lizzie. That may be a little difficult. After all, it's only a couple of months since you tried to escape.
Oh, I wouldn't do that again, miss. Cross me heart.
Yes. There's always the difficulty of finding a suitable job. With your heart,
Oh, I can manage, miss. I'm used to it, you see. Cooking, washing, scrubbing. I've done it all my life.
If you're that keen, I suggest you talk to the governor. You'll have to get her permission first.
I have.
There seems to be an order. Did Mrs. Davison make this out herself?
Yes.
She typed it herself.
I don't know who typed it.
Must have been one of the new typists. There's quite a few spelling errors.
Oh, I'll take it back and get it done again.
Lizzie, I'll hang on to it. I'll take it to Mrs. Davison, see what sort of job that she thought suitable for you. Thank you, Lizzie. That'll be all.
Ow, what was that for?
Because you can't bloody spell, that's why. She mucked it up again.
Well, what's happened?
She mucked up my release form. Miss Vernon was onto it straight away.
Well, you didn't expect to get away with it, did you?
Why not?
Why not? Because they were bound to check up on it. That's why not. Oh, listen, never mind. You'll only get solitary.
What? Well, it's all your fault, what with my heart. You kicked me in there.
Oh, well, you're not going to go to solitary. You shut up, Lizzie. I'm the one who's got to worry.
I wouldn't lag.
No, you better not either. Which reminds me, you better get rid of this. Put it back where it belongs.
Well, I couldn't do that, Benny. Oh, not while they're onto it. I mean, it's too dangerous.
Well, that's your problem, isn't it? I told you to have a look at it, not pinch the flaming thing.
Can't you get rid of it?
Well, how?
Yeah, well, we could always bury it in the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, now that's not a bad idea.
Grant, not talking to each other like this. It's stupid.
I didn't think I was good enough to talk to.
Oh, it's not that.
What is it then? See, you can't answer me, can you?
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, get on with it then.
Stuck-up little madam, bad as him and his son. I'm surprised you'd stoop to get your hands dirty.
Mrs. Grant, please don't go on like that. It's not that I don't want to come to your place. I can't.
Why not?
Because I've got to get back to the prison.
You mean you're a criminal?
At Wentworth Detention Centre, yes.
Criminal? Sid Butterfield, you come in here.
What is it now?
You come in here and find out.
Well?
Did you know she was a crim?
I told her.
You had no right to.
Oh, no, I'm glad she did. I'm not working alongside a crim.
Well, that's easily fixed. You can always leave.
You can't talk to me like that.
Who said so?
I do. I've worked here for 15 years.
Worked? All you've ever done is talked. Yeah, upset every bit of the staff I've ever had.
Well, if that's how you feel, I will go.
Well, go on then.
Oh, Mr. Butterfield, I
Oh,
don't
you
think...
keep out of this. Bloody woman, all she ever did was talk. And you'd do much better for yourself if you kept your mouth shut in future.
So, you refuse to tell me who helped you to break in here?
I told you. I did myself.
And you forged my signature?
Oh, it was only a joke.
So that's what you call trying to escape?
Oh, I wasn't. I just wanted a work release.
You should have applied through the usual channels. This sort of behavior just proves that you cannot be trusted, either outside or in here. If you were anyone else, you'd be in solitary by now.
What about me heart?
I am quite well aware of your condition. That's the only thing saving you. You will have no privileges for a month. That includes tobacco.
But I can't live without me fags.
I'm sure it will do your heart good. That'll be all. Unless you prefer solitary. Miss Bennett, would you have a new safety lock put on my door, please?
Yes, you'd better change the lock on the cabinet, too. It's a wonder she didn't strip the room. Is there anything else missing?
Not that I've noticed, but I'll check and let you know later. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Jean.
That's all right. Do you think Lizzie was telling the truth about breaking in here on her own?
Oh, I doubt it. She certainly couldn't forge my signature. It was probably Doreen Anderson, but we'll never get them to admit it.
No, they certainly stick together. Have you heard about Susan Rice? She was in court today.
Yes. She's been released on a good behavior bond.
But the judge didn't recommend psychiatric treatment?
No.
Well, she certainly won't stay out of trouble without it. She'll be back in here again for sure. I wonder if I should get in touch with her GP, have a word with him. What do you think?
I'm sorry.
What is it?
It's Yates' personal file. It's missing.
Get rid of this.
What is it?
Just something we don't want everyone to see. Get rid of it. Bury it in the garden.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners to